My name is Larry Kendrick, and I am the father of Shannon, Alex, and Stephen Kendrick. I have 19 grandchildren. Two of my sons have 6 each. My oldest son has 7. My sons do the work that God's called them to do.
If you go back and watch our first film, Flywheel, you'll see a scene where there's a father with a cane walking in the door praying a prayer of blessing over his son. Our dad did all 3 of our weddings, and at the end of our weddings, he prayed a prayer of blessing over his sons. Later on, we made Facing the Giants, and we patterned Larry Childers, the man in the wheelchair, after Larry Kendrick, who also had multiple sclerosis at the time and was in a wheelchair. You fast forward through Fireproof, as Dad was mentoring us in our marriages, you see a man pouring into his kids. In Overcomer, Dad was in a hospital bed at the time, and Thomas, the role played by Cameron Arnett in Overcomer, was in a hospital bed at the time, praying and blessing and impacting even from a hospital bed, having to remember his identity in Christ. We wanted Dad to be able to share with you this morning, so if you join me in welcoming Larry Kendrick.
Discipleship is where we determine that we're going to make Jesus Lord of our lives. Are we going to let him direct us? Are we going to try to find his will for our lives? And are we going to be willing to pay the price to deny self and take up our cross and follow him?
My father, Larry Kendrick, discipled us in various ways, first by his example, secondly by having these one-on-one long conversations with us about life, about the choices that we made, about our walk with Christ.
We didn't realize it when we were kids, but to grow up and see authentic faith lived out at home is huge. I am so grateful for not just parents that pointed us to God, but parents who walk with God.
I'm glad that my sons have felt led of the Lord to make this movie. The forge represents God's purifying of our lives, and we're to be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of our minds. But you got to walk with him and let him do his work in our lives. That's discipling.